Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tips and Trades, brought to you by Centimeter Perfect. That is Jesse. I am Liam, and we are back to tip round 13 action, Jesse, and also talk about our fantasy if we must. I wasn't a huge fan of this week. It was pretty terrible. Jesse, what do you think of your week in general?
Yeah, it was okay. I could have gone better, but it was nice to give you an absolute shellacking in fantasy if I couldn't win my matchup, which was frustrating because I would have beaten half the league. I wasn't playing my guy. So that was just great.
You were pretty worried coming into this round as well that you weren't going to win, and you were correct. No, I had an absolutely terrible fantasy game, but we'll talk about that after we've talked about our tips, Jesse, because we've kind of just gone to the tips first. That's the one that people want to see. They want to see the tips. They want to see how much I'm losing by in the fantasy. No one wants to look at that.
I want to see that.
Fair enough. Of course you do. Of course you do. Is it punishment round this week?
It is.
Oh, God. All right.
I can't wait.
Anyway, we'll start with the tips, Jesse. Now, here on the Centimeter Perfect podcast, we do tips a little bit different here. We use confidence points. Jesse, your quick rundown, which you've got so good at over the last couple of years. What are confidence points?
Confidence points are our sliding scale of spicing up our 2026 AFL tipping competition. So in an 8-game round, like it is this week, we will assign 1 point to the team we think is going to win, but with the lowest amount of belief they will do so, all the way up to 8 points, which is the team we are thinking are absolute certainties. Can't repeat your points in between. Whoever has the most amount of points at the end of the season will be declared the winner. You do not need the most amount of tips, just the most amount of points.
That is right, Jesse. And like a couple of weeks ago, this week just gone, we both lost our big point getter with the Geelong Cats going down to the Blues. And that makes a big difference. Here are the scores from last week. 18 for me, taking me to 366. 17 for Vin, taking him to 318. And Jesse, you got 19, another win for you, clawing back just one at a time at 361. And just in case you are joining us for the first time, Vin is the robot man. He tips, and we tip against him every week as well, just to see if the computer can tip well. Spoiler alert, they cannot. Bless their hearts. I actually did some maths before when I was doing my little spreadsheet here. Even if we got zeros for the next week, he'd still be behind. That's how far back Vin is. Bless his heart. Without further ado, Jesse, we should get into some games. It's a very interesting one to tip this week, some sliding scales, and especially when you've got your confidence points with some of these games, where do you put those points? We're about to find out. Let's start off with Thursday night.
Adelaide hosting Geelong at the Adelaide Oval to kick things off for round 13. The Crows will be coming in well rested, looking to continue to upward surge their season, while the Cats will need to dust themselves off from a shock loss delivered by the Blues.
As always, the person in third place goes first, which is Vin, so I'll read Vin's tip. Now, Geelong with 4 confidence points. Jesse, this is a quality game, Vin says. Adelaide at Adelaide Oval is always dangerous, of course it is, but Geelong have quietly put together another strong season and look more trustworthy week to week. See last week. The Cats' defensive structure is the difference for me. That is Vin. Jesse, what do you say?
We're going to have to start calling him Shut-In Vin, given how much he loves the stay-at-home with great advantages. I'm Geelong with 3. Ironically, I do somewhat agree with Vin, but in saying that, I expect the Cats to bounce back. They have a good record at Adelaide Oval in recent years. I think they're the best team in the comp, just quietly. So
you haven't been quiet about that at all, Jesse. You've said that every week.
I've been quiet here because I did just lose. So I'm saying it with less gusto as I have in previous weeks. But I think they'll get a job done with 3 points.
Yeah, I've gone Geelong with 5 actually in this one, Jesse. I think I just thought my points kind of worked out this week. Had to go a bit stronger on the confidence, but I think they'll bounce back from last week. I think that was a little bit of a blip in the matrix, so I think they'll be back to good form. Adelaide have something to prove this week, though, so 5 is potentially quite risky, but I think that they're just a better team, and Adelaide coming off the bye, probably people don't tend to do well coming off the bye, do they? Famously, no. Anyway, let's move on, Jesse, to the next one.
Hawthorn hosting the Western Bulldogs at the MCG for Friday night footy. The Hawks continue to make themselves as one of the best teams in the competition, while it's been the fingernail dogs in recent weeks, saving their season with 2 nail-biting victories.
All right, Vin's up here. He's got Hawthorn over the Bulldogs with 5 confidence points. This is the one I've planted his flag into, apparently. You were all over the Bulldog situation a few weeks ago. That's because I told them the Bulldogs were injured. And I've become much more cautious with them since. Hawthorn have been one of the most reliable sides all season, and their pressure game travels well. current ladder form indicators still have the Hawthorns sitting comfortably ahead of the Dogs. For some reason, normally Vin just gives me bullet points. He's given me like paragraphs this week. Changes his mind all the time, bless his heart.
Maybe they changed the model.
Maybe they did. Maybe they did. Jesse, what do you reckon?
I'm Hawthorn with 5. This is probably higher than I want it to be. I do think the Dogs are going to run out a bit of steam at some point. This strikes me as that game.
Yeah, I've gone Hawks with 4. It's kind of the same, the Geelong and Hawthorn thing for us too. I think it's just flip reversed. I actually think this could be a bit of a nail biter at the end of the day. So 4 seems pretty high, but yeah, the Hawks have got the quality there. So they've picked it up the last couple of weeks. So I expect them to do the same this week as well, although the Bulldogs could definitely upset. Would it be an upset even? I don't even know if it would be.
I think it would be.
You reckon? Okay, fair enough. All right, Jesse, let's move on to the next one. Saturday.
The Bright Lights of Bunbury host AFL football for the second year in a row. It is North Melbourne, this time opening the gates of Hands Oval to the Dockers. The Roos got back into the winners column prior to their bye, while the Dockers have barely set themselves outside the winning column this week, certainly not for the last 11, which is the streak they've maintained.
All right, Vin's gone Freo with 8, the full 8 confidence points on the Freo Dockers. North have improved dramatically, but Freo look like the most complete team in the competition right now. The Dockers are sitting top of the ladder and have shown that they can win in multiple ways, low-scoring grinders, contested games, and shootouts. Jesse, what do you reckon?
Oh, no, I just miss Shooter. That's reminded me of
Shooter. Oh, come back, Lockie. It's good over here again. Come on back.
He's a good boy. No, I'm Fremantle with 6. Needs to get the job done in games like this. North, obviously, dangerous and deserving of respect. But if the Dockers are serious, which I think they want to be, need to get the job done here. Yeah,
I'm putting it all on the Dockers. Freo with 8. I think that what everything you've just said is correct. I have a pit in my stomach that tells me they're not going to win this one. Like, we always talk about the bubble and when's the bubble going to burst. North are a really dangerous team this year. Super dangerous. And, I mean, I'm not too sure how Hands treat the Dockers. I don't think they've ever played there. Not in at least a home and away season. So who knows? This could be one of those games that absolutely gets us after beating the reigning premiers. Hey, look, who knows? But 8 points, Jesse. I'm going all in on the Dockers. Next one, which is going to be an interesting one. Let's go.
Is it an A clash? Is it a B clash? No, it's a Q clash. Gold Coast hosting Brisbane at People First Stadium. The Suns, coming in off their bye, will want to get one over their local rivals who defeated them in a thrilling semi-final last year.
All right, Vin is going on the Gold Coast train. He likes Gold Coast, likes Free, likes Gold Coast. Gold Coast with 3. This is my main leverage play, he says. Normally, I'd be wary of tipping against Brisbane, but he's got bullet points here. Gold Coast are at home. He loves that. Their form has held up for months now.
Is it hour or sorry, keep going.
That's fine. And they're no longer a surprise packet. If the Suns win, you'll likely gain a large percentage of tippers. I don't know what that means, Vin, but thank you for your input. Jesse, what do you reckon?
He's trying to galvanise the models. Uppriced.
Probably.
Look, I'm the Suns with 4, but 90% of that is pressing the alarm button over Brisbane. Like I said in the main podcast, we're not panic button, we're alarm button. But I'm pressing it, and I'm alarmed. And I think this is the best time for the Suns to get the Lions, and they should beat them. If they're serious about their own credentials, they should win this game of football.
Brisbane with 2.
Okay.
I feel like this is one of those games where it's probably more of a coin toss than we think. Obviously, Brisbane coming off some pretty horrid form in the last 3 weeks. But I don't know. Like I said with Freo, I think they're not far away from working out what's going on with them. And they're clearly well coached. Something's not clicking. I reckon they'll click this game and they'll get the job done over the Suns, even though the Suns are very good at People First. 2 is an acceptable margin to throw on a potential coin toss like this one. Not going too heavy on it. Jesse, let's go to the next one.
Saturday night footy hits Optus Stadium with West Coast hosting Port Adelaide. The Eagles, with 2 wins in their last 3, will be feeling the confidence under Andrew McQualter, while Power will be feeling the pressure with Josh Carr's boys losing their last 4 matches. Vin
has been on a bit of a run lately. I think he's getting better. And then he throws out something like this. Port Adelaide with 7 for Vin in this one here. Port haven't been great this year, but West Coast percentage remains a major concern. Interesting. And they continue to struggle against quality opposition. Also interesting. Not a lock, but strong enough for a high confidence score. Very good, Vin. All the power to you. Jesse, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I'm West Coast with 2, and okay, Vin. Sure. But look, I think West Coast are now at the point where they can win this game. I said at the start of the season their KPI was 5, including a derby. There's no such thing as an easy derby. They might struggle to win one this year with the form Fremantle are in, but they can hit 5. They can absolutely hit 5 this week. Very winnable game. They've already got the win over Port. Why are these two teams playing each other again so early, having already played? Who knows? It's 2026 and we can't get a fixture to make sense. But they should get the job done here. I don't really have any confidence in Port as a team at the moment.
No, me either. I'm the Eagles with 3, so just one more than you. I am denied though. I must admit, I am denied between Port and West Coast because I think coming off that last win, West Coast, confident side, don't want to keep rolling with that. They're pretty good at home. I think they'll be okay with this one. So we'll see. I mean, Port are not a bad team. They've got a lot of really good pieces, but there's something not clicking with them this year. So again, low confidence points because I reckon it could go either way. Okay, Jesse, let's go on to the next one.
Sunday afternoon footy is the Battle of the S's. Sydney hosting St Kilda at the SCG. The Swans got back into winning ways, thumping the Tigers, while St Kilda are still fumbling for their big boy pants, sitting with a negative record as we cross the halfway point.
The all-important halfway point. Vin has said Sydney over St Kilda with 6 confidence points. Sydney are simply the better side. The only reason this isn't higher is that St Kilda have been annoyingly competitive against good teams this season. Annoyingly competitive, interesting. Sydney should win, but I'm not loading up confidence points here. He says he gave it his 3rd highest amount of confidence points. Jesse, what do you say? Uh-oh, he's skiing.
This has easy win written all over. Sydney with 8. The downhill skiers will continue to ski downhill against Suns. Comfortably better.
He's got the full 8. That's crazy.
What have we seen from St Kilda in the last month that tells me they can win this game?
I understand. It's a tricky one. I just wouldn't have thought this would be your 8 game. Doesn't matter. It's fine. That's what the confidence points are, right? You're confident. I like that, Jesse. I've gone Sydney with 6. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, again, I'm ignoring this one as well. Like I feel like I haven't done a vibe tip for a while, and I felt like I was due for one.
Do it in the next game, you coward.
I held my nerve. Do it in the next one? Absolutely not. All right. Sydney with 6. Let's go to the next one, Jesse.
Legally described as a game of football, Essendon will host Carlton at the MCG to close out Sunday football for round number 13. The Bombers continue to show horrid AFL standards, having been embarrassed by West Coast at Optus Stadium, while Carlton, well, this is a different side under Josh Fraser, 3 on the bounce and on the cusp of making it 4.
Vin also, he's got his favourites. He's got his Gold Coast. He's got his Dockers. Anytime you've got Essendon in the mix, he always gives us something nice. Carlton over Essendon with 2. This feels ugly. Carlton have been disappointing, but Essendon have been worse. The Bombers are sitting at the bottom of the ladder and remain difficult to trust. Oh,
no, there is no trust.
He's probably been watching you every week, just rail on the Essendon Bombers every week. He's like, oh, they can't be good.
Point to the unjustified criticism. Point to it. I've got all night.
What do you reckon, Jesse? Where you putting your money?
Yeah, I'm calm with 7. This feels one-sided. If this was 3 weeks ago, this would actually potentially end the season. Like delete league, because that would be horrid. But both snakes have shed their skin. New coaches, one coach can coach, the other one, has Jackson Pryor. So there is that. I don't see this going any other way, but Carlton win. To be perfectly honest with you,
not the vibe game. Carlton with 7 as well. Although watch something really fun. Just watch something really funny happen. God, it doesn't matter. We'll go into the last game, Jesse. I just, again, Carlton Essendon, I had so many vibes in my heart this week. That's why I've just gone with the actual smart pick rather than my vibes, because you can't have vibes all the time. I've got to hold on to this lead somehow, and I know you're trusting on me to do something stupid. I'm not going to do it.
Yes, you will.
Not yet. Okay. Not yet. At some stage I will, probably like round 24. We'll see what happens. Jesse, last game, which is a very, very important game of this round. Here it is.
The big freeze, the game that meant so much to so many, even more so this year with the recent passing of Neil Danaher. Collingwood hosting Melbourne on the Monday public holiday over there in Victoria. The Pies, with inconsistent form, just 6 points out of a possible 20 in their last 5, while the Demons have lost 2 in a row and look desperate to turn things around and retain their top 6 spot.
Yes, very important game, this one. Vin is up first. He's gone Melbourne over Collingwood with just the 1. Lowest confidence game of the round. Collingwood have been inconsistent. Melbourne have been inconsistent. When I can't separate two sides cleanly, I tend to side with the team whose best football is slightly better. That's Melbourne for me, but only just. Wowee. Okay. Fair enough, Vin. That's probably the best one he's ever done. I like that. Jesse, what do you reckon?
I'm calling with one. This is a hard game. This has one written all over it. It is a genuine coin toss. I'm leaning the Pies. I guess this is a vibe tip for me. I get the sense this is right place, right time for them. And Melbourne coming off a bit of a slump in front of a hot crowd. Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned about them here. I think Collingwood might win this.
Yeah, I'm also Collingwood with one. Again, it was kind of a vibe. This is probably the vibe tip this week because the Demons obviously have a fair bit more emotion riding in this, obviously given Danaher's history. But I don't know. I just feel like the Pies have got a bit more class in terms of like how they play their footy than Melbourne. I think they're still trying to work things out under Stephen King, which is fine because it's been working quite well. But I reckon the emotion of this day might get to the better of the Demons just a smidge. So I've gone the Collingwood Magpies with one as well. Jesse, that'll do it for the tips. Ooh, interesting one this week. We've got some confidence points all over the place on that one. So we'll see how it all works out in the wash coming into next week. Can you make up those 5 points, 6 points, whatever you're down by? Hopefully not. But can I make up the 1,000 points that I'm behind you in the fantasy? That's the next question that we have to ask, Jesse. Our fantasy recap is here. Anything we want to say about this week, Jesse, or just jump straight into it?
I think we should, without any further ado.
Well, there it is. There it is. So 1327 for me. It's grim. Taking me to 20,886. Thank you, Jesse. You got 1633, taking you to 21,960. Jesse, some fun facts from my fantasy this week. Let's go through it. So Flanders out, Coleman out, Grundy missed, McInerney out. Only two players, which was Bailey Smith and Willem Dersma, only two scored over 100. Everyone else scored under 100 points. It was a filthy week of fantasy for me. Filthy.
The amount of scuba gifts you got sent from me during the week about your fantasy was great. You were getting a daily scuba at that point.
Yeah, and I was just like, what do I do? I can't say anything, which now puts me in a tough position because now I've got to try and trade out Flanders. I don't know what's going on with Grundy. I'm not too sure how bad
Grundy will be back.
Ankle is.
But the risk with Grundy is Laddams is staying in the team. So do you want Grundy having to share ruck duties in one of your most important positions in fantasy?
I may have already traded him out, but we'll get to that.
You're lucky you've got a good buy this week.
Goodbye. Yes.
Thank you. Well, I'll see you next week.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the other thing as well. We'll get to the tactics at the end. Let's go through the scores really quickly for our games, our matchups. Unsurprisingly, I lost, not by much though, to Matt Hatter, who's like top of the pops at the moment. He's currently sitting in third spot. I was expecting to get absolutely pants. Obviously, it's still quite a handy victory, but to see them under 1,600 as well was quite a surprise. Obviously, you went down to Jimbo Slice, who keeps rising up the ladder as well.
Yeah, I'm filthy on that. That score would have beaten more than half the comp, I reckon.
Well, guess what, Jesse? You didn't. You lost. So there. Here's the ladder. Don's FC still holding the top. Harry Cheezels and the Mad Hatter, who I played this week, is up there as well. And down the bottom is where we sit. You still hold on to 13th, which is good for you, Jesse. I am currently in 18th and basically need to win every single game of the rest of the season to be even coming close to the finals. It may already be mathematically impossible. But hey, I will keep fighting. I'll keep battling, and I'll see if I can't at least beat Jesse in a few rounds, including this week where we're coming into a punishment round. Every so often we do a punishment round. If you lose, the other person gets to put a punishment on you.
I've got some good ones for you.
That's why I have to win. That's why I have to win.
I got a real good one for you.
Last time yours worked out okay for me. It worked out okay. Like my punishment on you worked out okay. We'll see what happens. So we have to kind of go next level with this now. And I feel like regardless of what happens, I still feel like if I win and I have to give you a punishment, it'll still be too nice compared to what you were thinking about doing to me. I can just feel it. It's something evil. It's something really bad. And I don't want to see it happen. Lord knows I'm already losing enough as it is. Here is our top 20 players from last week. As you can see, lots of people got the same points on there. All of us. So Isaac Kenny, massive, 163. Any surprises in there, Jesse? All looking pretty
Kerno was huge. Sicily, big game from him. Wilmot's really benefiting without Zorko.
There's some big names in there.
So you only had Sorry, you go.
No. I only had 2. So Bailey Smith and William Dersma. That's all I had.
So on there, I've had Smith, Whitfield, Walsh, Dacos.
You finally got Whitfield to have a good game. That's good.
I know. Well, he was at like 60 at 3/4 time, but then went absolutely off his nut in the last quarter.
Hey, you'll take that, Jesse. You'll take that.
100% I will.
But yeah, nothing. A few surprise names. Nothing too crazy in there, Jesse. I think the surprising thing to me was all these players who've been doing so well just sucked. Just sucked this week. Cozzy's gone down crazy.
Yeah,
last 2 or 3 weeks.
Steele, these guys are killing me at the moment.
Yeah, falling off a cliff.
Archie Roberts had a stinker who I've sold the farm to bring into the team.
Well, them's the breaks, Jesse.
Yeah, I've traded that Whitfield for Sinclair this week, so I know. So I apologise in advance, Sinclair owners. The Sinclair's now getting 75. That's just how it works. When I trade in primos, they turn to absolute dust.
Well, so far the only thing I've really done is trade out Flanders for Petrarca because I had a bit of extra money in my cap. I have made a move on Grundy, but I'm not entirely sold on it, so I'm not too sure what I'm going to do there. I might bring him back in and see what's going on.
What move did you make?
Oh, that would require me remembering.
I'm assuming it was Cameron.
No, I honestly don't remember. It was like literally yesterday afternoon. I looked at it
trade when the round ended.
Yeah, as soon as I was just like, I got to do some things now.
I did that to Kitty Cole when he got anger traded within about 5 minutes of the round ending.
Get out of my team, Kitty.
Oh, yeah, you got to get rid of him too.
Well, what's happened to him?
Hamstring. He's done.
Ah, fuck. All right. Well, I'll work on that then. I'm going to have to bring Grundy back in then for a little bit and work out what's going on with Kitty. Oh, lordy. That's okay. This is fantasy for you. Because if McInerney's out as well, hopefully he's just a short one.
He's a rolled ankle. He'll be fun.
Good. Thank goodness for that. Because I've only got 2 trades to make. It's not enough. Can I have your trades?
No.
Give them to me. I want to use them.
No.
Fair enough. Should
we start out because we're just talking absolute nonsense?
That's what we do. Go on, Jesse. Send everybody home.
Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Let us know your thoughts on the round ahead and any fantasy moves you're making. Until next time, I'm Jesse. That's Liam. This is the 70 Minute Perfect AFL Podcast.
Bye, everybody.